Algebra 2, Set 102, Practice. Okay, find h plus g of 5 if h of x is x plus 1, the domain is the real numbers, and g of x is x squared minus 1, the domain is the integers. So when they're combined, the domain is going to be integers. And when we look at 5, 5 is an element of the integers, so we're okay to proceed. So let's start with h plus g of x, and then we can plug 5 in after we do that. So h plus g of x is going to be h of x plus g of x. So we're going to add those two. So we get h plus g of x is equal to x squared plus x. So h plus g of 5 is going to be 5 squared plus 5, which is 30. Okay, find hg of negative 2 if h of x is x plus 2, the domain is the reals, and g of x is x squared minus 7, the domain is negative integers. So we're going to check the domain, and we can see that when they're combined it's going to be negative integers, and when we plug in negative 2 is a negative integer, so we're okay to proceed. So, because negative 2 is an element of the negative integers. So hg of x is the same as h of x times g of x. So we have x plus 2 times x squared minus 7. So when we multiply that out, we get x cubed minus 7x plus 2x squared minus 14. We can put that in, we actually don't have to put it in descending order because we can just plug in the negative 2. So we get negative 2 cubed minus 7 times negative 2 plus 2 times negative 2 squared minus 14. So we end up with negative 8 plus 14 plus 8 minus 14. So when we add negative 8 and 8 we get 0, and when we add negative 14 and 14 we get 0, so the answer is 0. Okay, last one. Find fg of x if f of x is x plus 6, the domain is reals, and g of x is x minus 4, the domain is positive integers. Check the domain. When we check the domain, we see that our input is x. So x can be any of those, so we're okay. Our domain is checked. So fg of x is f of x times g of x, so we're multiplying x plus 6 times x minus 4. So we get x squared plus 6x minus 4x minus 24. We can combine it and get x squared plus 2x minus 24. And since we don't have an input, our input is x, our solution is fg of x is x squared plus 2x minus 24. But we do have to indicate the domain. And the domain is, once they're combined, what's common to both of them. So that would be positive integers.